So one way of defining mind is it's a collection of thoughts at any point of time. A mind is like clay. You give it any shape, it will take. It will lead to reduction in this noise, which ultimately leads to peace.
Mind is constantly occupied with thoughts. It's never at peace. I mean, I may be in a place where there is complete, probably in a no silence zone, but still there are too many noises in my head. How do I deal with this noise in my head?
Bottle ban karo. Put the lid. The noise doesn't come out.
किस तरह से वो lid डालूं?
How to put the lid is the trick. So first you must get to a stage where you identify what this noise is about. Sometimes this noise is unnecessary. There are unnecessary thoughts going through your mind. And if you try to fit in a logic, it doesn't fit. Because there is no coherence. So one way to deal with this is to train the mind. Ultimately, training the mind is at the same time easy and not so easy. Why am I saying it's easy? Because a mind is like clay. You give it any shape, it will take. That's why it's easy. Why not so easy? Because mind is not in your control. The clay is not in your hands. I can shape something if it is in my hands. If it is not in my hands, what do I do? So that's the difficult part. Trainability of the mind is easy. Getting hold of the mind is not easy. I can't get hold of my mind. So first is how to hold the mind. So that also needs training. How to hold the mind needs training. While we are talking about how to hold the mind, what am I supposed to hold? If you say hold your head, then there is an object which I am going to hold. If you say hold your ears, there are objects which I am going to hold. Hold the mind, kya pakdu? So that is the major difficulty. How do I hold the mind? Hold the head, I know where the head is. I'm not going to hold my knees if you say hold the head. Because I know the geographic location of my head. Hold the mind, where is the mind? So which geographic location I go to grab hold of the mind? So that's another difficulty. Hold the head, I can use my hands to hold the head. Can I use my hands to hold the mind? No. So how do I hold the mind? So all these questions make mind a complicated subject. Number one, what is the mind? Number two, where is the mind? Number three, when is the mind to be controlled or held? Number four, who will do it? And number five, how? And all these questions don't have definite answers. Therefore, mind becomes a difficult subject. Get that?
Yeah.
So now let's start with the beginning. What is mind? So one way of defining mind is it's a collection of thoughts at any point of time. I didn't define the thoughts. I just said it's a collection of thoughts. So now thoughts could be in sync. That means there is a chain of thought, there is a logic of thought which is going on in my mind right now. Or it could be scattered thoughts.
Right.
कुछ ये thought, कुछ वो thought, which has no connection with each other. आज खाने में क्या है, कौन सा कपड़ा पहनूंगा, वो क्या बोली. All disconnected, disjointed thoughts simultaneously occurring in my mind. Now that is a tough situation.
Yeah.
Scattered thoughts. So what is the mind? It's a bunch of thoughts at any given point of time. One way of defining mind. Another way of defining mind, mind is a container with a lid. What is in my container is known only to me till I decide to open the container and expose what is in my mind, which is true of any human being. So if your mind is a container, then what should be in the container? Ideally my choice. But doesn't happen. Many thoughts come which I don't want.
Yeah.
So who is planting those thoughts? Now you are coming to the subject. My container is open and I am not in control of filling that container. So who is filling that container? Anybody and everybody around me.
Society.
So to use a word, society. Society is filling that container. What is the root of filling that container? Sense organs. Society is telling me things, gyan de rahe. Society is showing me things. Audio visual inputs are coming in, which are filling my container, whether I like it or not. I don't want to see violence on the street, but I am seeing violence on the street. My container is getting filled. I don't want to hear abusive language, but I am hearing abusive language. My container is getting filled. All the nonsense which I don't want is getting filled in the container. Okay, filling of the container is out of my control.
Yeah.
Can I empty this container? Then that's the next question. Because if there is a facility for me to empty the container, then whatever that is unwanted that has got automatically filled in my container can also be emptied out. That is the key. How do I empty my container? So one method is to dip into the container and pull out the things and throw them out. The other thing is fill up the container with something I want so that the unwanted things come to the surface and get thrown out, spilled out.
Right.
So there are two methods. So is there a method by which I can go into my mind and pull out the things that are, then I have to be a trained psychiatrist to be able to do that. I'm not. So then the next method is possible. Put something there which will throw the unwanted stuff out. Put something there which I want to put so that the unwanted stuff gets displaced and thrown out. Is that possible? That is eminently possible for any ordinary person. He doesn't have to be a qualified psychiatrist who will delve into the mind and pull out things. So what do I do? So if all the nonsensical things according to me are in my mind, then I need to displace them with exactly the opposite of the nonsense. You start chanting positive sentences. Now we come to the subject of chanting. Chanting is what? Repeatedly saying the same thing again and again so that your processor gets influenced into saying that chant, and that chant is connected internally to your feeling mechanism, and your feeling mechanism starts changing. So suppose you are in the habit of constantly complaining. ये खराब है, वो खराब है, ये अच्छा है, वो अच्छा है. Start chanting, ये अच्छा है, वो अच्छा है. इसके पीछे भी कुछ अच्छाई है. So over a period of time, that अच्छाई percolates into your thinking patterns, feeling patterns, and your thinking and feeling patterns are your life.
Yes, I've experienced this. So during our course, when we have, when we chant our affirmations, or when we chant during our meditation, so initially you don't feel the change,
because
but it's a
mechanical.
gradual, then it's a gradual process, and the realization may not come during the time of meditation.
Why? Because we do it mechanically.
Yeah.
There are only few moments in your life where you get the opportunity to go within yourself and think, I was chanting this meditation. What is the actual meaning? Now you might have chanted the meditational line, say 500 times, but you contemplated it on it once. But that once was the eye opener. The 500 times was just training the mechanics, the lip service, the thinking patterns, the feeling patterns. But the day you contemplated on it once, that caused the transformation. Therefore, chanting is necessary. When you do it 500 times, there is an outside chance that you will contemplate on it once. When you do it 1,000 times, 2,000 times, 3,000 times, the possibility of you revisiting it with intent increases. But if you have chanted 3-4 times, it's gone, evaporated. You don't even dwell on it.
So this process will gradually lead to inner peace?
Will gradually lead to reduction in noise, the inner noise of thoughts, unwanted thoughts planted by external agencies. It will lead to reduction in this noise, which ultimately leads to peace. Noise reduction is peace. So you are not working for peace, you are working for noise reduction. Peace is a consequence of noise reduction. So many people struggle with this internal noise and they don't really know how to deal with it. The awareness of the mechanism is a good way to begin with. And the mechanism is this: replace the noise with another noise. First noise was unpalatable, the second noise was palatable. Ultimately, you will see the merits of noise reduction and it will lead you to peace and silence.